Business owners who find themselves every day putting out fires or answering questions or micromanaging are going to get burnt out. And it's incredibly stressful and tough, especially when you start out and you don't really know what you're doing. The difference between companies that plateau and ones that scale smoothly really comes down to one thing, and that's the systems that you have in place. But most business owners overcomplicate this. And I'm going to show you a simple 3-step framework to map your process and write down your system so that your team can execute without you having to say things all the time. So step number 1 is our macro map. So before you dive into the micro details, we have to step back and really look at the business from a bigger angle, or from a much bigger perspective. Now, every business is just a series of inputs and outputs, and at its highest level, you only have about 3 to 4 core engines for most B2B and service-based businesses. It looks like this. We have our attraction, so how do leads find us? We have a conversion, so how do we turn those leads that we just got into paying clients? Our delivery, how do we deliver on what we've just sold those clients? Number 4 is operations and finance. How do you collect money and keep the lights on? So I want you to take a piece of paper out and write down these 4 columns and list the top 2 most critical activities under each of them. And that's your roadmap. Don't try to map your whole universe today. Just start with the one engine currently causing the most bottlenecks and work through that. Step number 2 is building our process skeleton. Pick one critical activity from your list. Let's say it's onboarding a new client. Now, most owners make the mistake of trying to write a novel right away. Instead, we're going to use the 80-20 rule here to map the highest level workflow first. So open a free mapping tool or grab some sticky notes or a bit of paper, and you want to map the journey from trigger to done in 5 to 7 steps maximum. Trigger: what kicks off our process? Is this a signed contract, or someone saying yes, or a text message which says, yes, I'm going ahead with it? Number 2 is our steps. So what happens next? Do we generate an invoice straight away? Is it a quote? Do we send a welcome email or create project folders? And number 3 is the goal. What does success look like here? Is it a client kickoff call booked? Do we keep it visual? How do these things work? You know, when we're writing this out, we have to keep it visual and decide whether a step requires a decision. Is deposit paid? Do we send invoice first? Yes or no? And you make that the fork in the road. Seeing it visually written down on the paper prevents your team from getting stuck when you aren't there to ask or answer questions. Now that you have the skeleton, it's time to add the muscle. The standard operating procedure, or SOP as most people know it by. To write a system that actually gets used, we need to remember the rule, write for a smart stranger. Assume the person doing the task is intelligent but has zero context of your business. Here is the exact structure to use when writing every single SOP. Define your purpose. In one sentence, why does it matter? We onboard clients perfectly so they feel confident and we get paid every time. Number 2 is the owner. Who's responsible for this? And clearly define that. Is it a project manager, finance, or HR? Define who is responsible for it. Number 3 is our steps. Clear bulleted action items starting with verbs. Click the blue button, not the button should be clicked. And number 4, define the definition of what done is. How does your team know they have succeeded? A pro tip here is don't spend 3 hours typing. Open a tool like Loom, share your screen, and record yourself doing the actual work. Explain what you're doing once loud, paste that video at the top of the document, and use bullet points or the transcript from that video to actually create the SOP document of itself. That's a really smart way to do it, and it speeds up your time and makes it a lot more useful for your team because they can watch you doing it in real time. Building systems isn't a one-time project. It is actually an ongoing discipline. But if you map one process a week, within 2 to 3 months, you'll have a business that runs on an optimized engine rather than relying entirely on your personal adrenaline. You'll get your time back, your team will be empowered, and your business will finally be scalable. If you like what you saw, hit the subscribe button, join the channel, and I'm going to be putting more frameworks and business automation out there and operations for the future. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Enjoy the rest of your week. Thanks for watching.